Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the MCQ lessons they come. And important facts, their details, and the articles, their essence, their detailed explanations we are taking here. Extremely relevant issues these are making the context of the prelims and mains questions, so do not miss these lessons. And the evening lessons are way more important. Do not miss to follow them religiously. And those questions are totally prelims oriented. The explanations and the PDFs, everything you are getting there. 9th of October it is. And let's start the lesson. And regarding the paid courses by StudyIQ, Gaurav sir's, Prashant sir's and Mahipal sir's courses are available now. Second lot is also coming, and just 159 rupees per month, not more than that. And you will be getting excellent quality videos, and the level of those videos you can check there, because 159 rupees is nothing according to me. So that is why we have kept this price this much low, so that every one of you is able to join that. So regarding these queries, you can call on those numbers. Mr. Ajay will be replying to you on that number. So during the daytime, please call on that. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play. You can download that. Regarding these courses, the descriptions are given below the video. You can call on these numbers, and the chat section is available here. And the PDF you will get on the Facebook group, and the Telegram channel is also given there. So download Telegram and follow the channel. A lot of important matter regarding exams is available on Telegram. So you should take advantage there. Use Telegram's source. Okay. So PDF I'm getting uploading there. On Facebook there is some problem for the 3-4 days. I'm not able to upload that PDF. So you will get those PDFs on Telegram channel. Okay. You can follow me on Instagram too. And the first issue, important for GS paper 2 and 3. Rafale's formal receipt is there. Mr. Rajnath Singh ji in France, he received formally the first Rafale jet there. So this was simply a important handover ceremony. The delivery will start from next year in the month of May. So for us, important thing is that how we are dealing this issue. There is a model called SNP model, strategic partnership model, where offset clause is there. Means 50% offset clause is the main issue here, where French companies in the deal are setting up facilities in India. The Dassault company and the engine making company called the Safran, these will be collaborating with Indian private partner there. So Reliance company, the new company which has no experience at all, Anil Ambani's company, which is awarded this important venture, and this is going to be a Dassault Reliance joint venture production. So this facility will be there in Nagpur, and it has started functioning there. And another company, Thales, already has presence in Nagpur, and Safran is an engine making company which will inaugurate its facility in Hyderabad. So these are important details for prelims, and this is how this will start working. And let's see how it is going to boost the Make in India initiative. And Def Expo will be there next year in February in Lucknow. So there also it will be showcased. So these details are important. Other details and the articles based on this issue will surely come in this week. We will discuss those things there. Next issue, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is denied the permission to attend this important summit, the Mayor's Summit in Copenhagen there, and that was regarding the urbanization process and the climate change issue. Cities, they are having major populations of the countries now, and more and more people are coming to big cities, especially these mega cities, and the immigration towards these mega cities is happening with a very fast pace, and that is why more and more climatic challenges are also there. And these kind of summits are extremely relevant here. He was chosen for that because Delhi lowered its air pollution by 25% in last 2 years. So that was a great achievement. And the kind of city Delhi is, the unmanaged rapid urbanization which has been there for last 2-3 decades, and lowering the pollution by 25%, it's a kind of a great deal. So that's why he was about to go there, but after this denial of the permission, he will not be able to join that. Other cities will also join that. So I asked you a question regarding this this important Copenhagen summit, and that was called C40 Cities Climate Summit on 3rd October MCQ lesson. I asked you a question regarding that, and I'm going to repeat that. C40 is the first of its kind summit being organized for the first time in Copenhagen. No, this is wrong, because it is for the 7th time that it is happening in the Copenhagen city. And earlier it started in London city in 2005, then it was there in USA, and then in other cities. So this is an important initiative and a summit for mayors of important mega cities of this world. So it is not by UN Habitat. Both the statements were wrong here. D none was the answer here. You can see it started in London 2005, New York 7, Seoul South Korea 2009, Sao Paulo Brazil 11, Johannesburg in 14, Mexico City in 16, and now 7th one in Copenhagen. Okay, unique global event, and they are publishing groundbreaking research showcasing cutting edge innovations and solutions, and especially the urban solutions. So that's why they choose cities there. So this time in Copenhagen, it was the first time to truly bring the citizens of the city into the summit. So many people were invited there. Okay, and especially the 90 cities of the world's countries, the leading cities. It's a network of them, and they discuss these issues, and they are very, very close to the sustainable development goals, especially the carbon emission goals and the temperature rise, where we are trying to keep it below 1.5 degrees centigrade by the end of the century. So these goals are basic to these workings and the innovations, practices, and the solutions. And these were the cities chosen from India: Bangalore, Chennai, Jaipur, Kolkata, Mumbai, and New Delhi. But it is shocking that the capital of the country, New Delhi, and the chief person was not given this permission. So the justification is not given why he was denied the information, but we have to see. And they're calling it very unfortunate. Here these categories are there. Mega cities, the population where more than 3 million population is there, and innovative cities, which are not mega cities, but they are giving many important solutions and showing leadership in environmental and climate change work. Observer cities who are applying for the first time to join C40 summit. So 3 important categories are there, and the issue is important. The description of UN Habitat is given here. Next, nationwide NRC center has to set cutoff date. We know a lot of problems were there in the Assam NRC issue. 1.9 million people are declared foreigners according to that. Now, when Home Minister announced this issue on a public platform that we will replicate this process in all India, so many issues will be relevant here. Many discussions, many articles will keep coming on this issue, because he just announced it, and they are planning to connect it with the Citizenship Amendment Bill of 2016, which could not pass. And this important connection with this exercise and the Citizenship Amendment Bill, which was extremely controversial because the basis was ethnic, the communal and religious, that can divide this whole nation, because this exercise is going to be in the whole country. And many experts are saying that there is no need for this kind of registers in this country, this kind of exercise in this country. We are way more capable to tackle these situations of illegal immigrants in other parts of the country. Assam is a frontier state, and there was a certain history involved of 71 war. So now controversial issues will be there, because Home Minister openly said that we will allow these communities which are non-Muslims, and he did not take the name of Muslims. So indirect message to the Muslim community was there, according to some experts. So which will be important here? The Passport Act 1920 will be important. The UPSC may ask you questions regarding that. Next, Foreigners Act 1946 will be crucial, and the section 14A of Foreigners Act 46, and the Citizenship Amendment Bill and the Citizenship Act of 55, that will be important. Here you can see Article 5 to 11, Part 2 of the Constitution of India is relatable to citizenship of this country, and Citizenship Act came in 55. Then the amendments were there in 86, 92, 2003, 5 and 15, and the bill came in 16, but this could not become an act. And that was the most controversial one, because it had a communal basis there, because they said that many ways are there, and the naturalization way means if you live for 12 years in this country, any foreigner, then you become the Indian citizen. But there is a process, means when you submit an application, before that, immediately before that, at least for 12 months consistently you should stay in India, and before those 12 months, 11 years combinedly you must stay in India in last 14 years. So that's why you can get the citizenship by the way of naturalization. And in this way, these non-Muslim communities, all of them which were mentioned in the speech there, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Christians, from all the neighboring, from these three neighboring countries, especially Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan. So the condition is lowered for them, means from 12 years they have made it 6 years for them, means within 6 years they will get the citizenship of India. So this process is made smooth for non-Muslims, and Muslims were not included in this controversial issue. So that is why this has become very communal thing. And other issue involved in this matter is that there was a date, like the people who moved from Pakistan to India after independence, then the date was decided as 19 July 1948. So under Article 6 of Constitution, it said that the people who came before 19th July 1948, they will be declared as Indian citizens, and after that who came, other provisions will be applicable there. And in the Assam NRC issue, the date was taken as 25th of March 1971. The people who came before that, those were considered as Indian citizens. Now the controversy is that, especially in the areas of Tripura and other Assam areas, they say that bring this date from 1971 to 1948, because many people, lakhs of them, they immigrated into India between 48 to 71, and that's a true thing. And that is why many communities who were living there, now they have become minorities, because extreme level of immigration happened in those areas. So these kind of controversies are appearing in these issues, and way more controversial it is going to be, because some immigration which were here in this country for thousands of years, it continued till recent decades, and especially after the independence and the 71 war issue, a lot of immigration was there. But another fact is there, that now the immigration is happening with a very slow pace. After 71 there is not much immigration there, and people are very much aware, and a lot of political issues are appearing. So that's why the immigration is very, very low these years, recent years. So we have to manage this issue very professionally, in a calm manner, and in a very constructive manner. Otherwise it may create a havoc, and especially the issue of replicating this Assam NRC issue in all over the country. How much big the need is, we have to assess here, and how much necessary is this thing, that we make these kind of statements and we exclude some communities, we include some communities, and how we will be tackling all those consequences which will appear from these conditions. So that's why it's important. So this issue is relevant for GS paper 2 especially, and 3 also, because possible security issues are also attached with this. You can see the details of citizenship by naturalization and a citizenship amendment bill here, and what was the controversy, and which were the communities included, and Muslims were not included there. This is the issue. Next issue, IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, is going to collaborate with these meteorological agencies in China and Pakistan. Why? The issue of the geography of Himalayas and Hindu Kush. First, look at the map. This is India, and the map is here, and this is the countries of Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan and all. Here this Pamir dot is located. From this Pamir knot, Hindu Kush range is extending like this, other Hinduraj, other simple ranges. Suleiman range is going this way in Pakistan, and the Trans Himalayas, the Karakoram range, these are going like this. Greater Himalaya is going like that. Other important the parallels are also going like this. Kunlun Shan is rising this way, and Tian Shan in China, it is going like that. So these all are meeting here. This is Pamir Knot, which is called the roof of the world. And this region, especially the Hindu Kush plus Himalayas, this region is called the third pole of this world after North Pole and South Pole, because the biggest number of glaciers after North and South Pole, they are present here. So that's why the conditions are very similar climatically to these poles. And a lot of researches are going on North Pole and South Pole. For the last 2-3 days, I have been talking about the Mosaic expedition, where Vishnu Nandan will be the part of it. So we have been talking about that issue. So a lot of research is needed in this region also, and especially our local research, our local observations are needed here. So that's why this collaboration will be extremely important to know about the climate change issue, to know about the complex weather phenomena there and the climatic phenomena there. And these 3 countries can collaborate on this matter very constructively, very positively. So the center will be established in this region, and we will have to see that how these 3 countries come along, and other additional issues related to this matter, to this geography, can be like this is the picture which is telling about the Himalayan region, and a specific issue of Waka corridor that can be asked in UPSC prelims. You can see I draw the right map here for Jammu and Kashmir. The total area is covered, claimed by Pakistan also, but officially it is ours. So here the wrong map is given, and the Jammu and Kashmir actually extends till here. Okay, so that's the truth. Now this area is called POK now, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So the Afghanistan's extension, a simple sleek arm, is extending till India, and this is the smallest border, 80-kilometer border touching India here. But here a very small corridor is touching China's border. So this way China can have access in Afghanistan from this area. This is called Waka corridor, Afghanistan to India and China, a very small piece of land here extending till here. So it is called Waka corridor. So they may ask you these details, and this is the issue of establishing centers in this Hindu Kush Himalayan region, which is called third pole. That's the issue, important for GS paper 3 mainly. Next, we will come to the articles now. Now a discussion, a very important and critical discussion about the zero-based natural farming. We had an article a few days back regarding the zero-based natural farming issue and the positivities of it, and how it is very, very beneficial because it is based on organic issues. But there are the main proponent of it who popularized this issue of ZBNF, Mr. Parlikar. His statements, his views and his opinions and his proposals, they look very bizarre in some senses here. So a critical article is there based on some facts. Mr. Ramkumar and Arjun SV, they both are saying that most criticisms of modern agriculture practices are criticism of post-Liebig developments in agriculture science. Means the chemicalization of agriculture is the main issue, where a lot of problems of soil, there are a lot of problems related to the health conditions of the people. They are related to overuse and the over chemicalization of the agriculture, and the countries like India, which went ahead with the green revolution, and a lot of production was there in some states, although some imbalances were there in level of production, and the irrigation facilities were also important here. But the indiscriminate use of these chemicals and these fertilizers, that brought a condition where a lot of criticism is rising against these things. So this was to be managed very well. This was to be attached with many additional conditions, but we did not care about those things, and the indiscriminate use of these chemicals and fertilizers by the poor farmers in India, that continued, and it created havoc. And that's why we are more inclined towards these organic ways and alternative methods, and some were popularized in India too. Now here, if we talk about the international models like then Rudolf Steiner's biodynamics model, Masanobu Fukuoka's one straw revolution, Madagascar's rice intensification models, these were the examples of specific alternative proposals there. In India, homeo farming, Vedic farming, Nachu eco farming, and Agnihotra farming, Amrit Pani farming, they became popularized as an alternative methods. And now the new entry is Subhas Parlekar's zero-based natural farming, ZBNF. Now, Mr. Parlekar, he proposed this idea as an alternative method, but he did not consider it as alternative. He called it the best method, and he called all the other methods as conspiracies and foolish things. He said that even the organic farming is wrong, and it is way more dangerous than the chemical farming. And this organic farming is worse than atom bomb. And he said that these Liebig reforms, as Mr. Liebig and fertilizers, pesticides, these are demonic substances. Although many problems we know are there because of these chemicals, and certainly these are poisons for human civilization, but demonic substances, how he's saying that's the thing. He's calling all of them demonic, and crossbreed cows are also demonic, but we all know the fact that the indigenous cow breeds, they do not give much milk production, and these crossbreeds, they are heavily used and they give the actual production. So he called them demonic species. He called vermicomposting a scandalous issue, and he called redworm used to make vermicompost as the destructor beast. He called Steiner's biodynamic farming as biodynamite farming, and his own alternative of ZBNF. He posed against all these issues of inorganic, organic farmings. So he separated his zero-based natural farming from the organic way. What is the logic? Only he knows. Mr. Parlekar's premise is that soil has all the nutrient plant needs. Means all types of soils in India, they have all kinds of nutrients. Only we need to activate them. Who will activate? He recommends 4 wheels of ZBNF: Bijamrit, Jivamrit, mulching and Vapasa. Bijamrit is the microbial coating of seeds with formulations of cow urine and cow dung. And he says that the kind of Jivanus, or you may say bacteria in the English word, these will activate these magical stages of nutrients which are available with all the soils. And he talks in a spiritual sense about the soils and the farming issue, and he says that this is all capable. Bijamrit, as I told you, it's a coating of seeds with only cow urine and cow dung, and jaggery is also involved. Jivamrit is an enhancement of soil microbes using an inoculum of cow dung, cow urine and jaggery. So almost similar things. And mulching is simple, as we all know about that the dead material, organic matter, the fallen leaves and all these covering of the soil with those things, and that will create the humus thing. Ultimately, we all know about that. The microbes work on these organic matter and they give the nutrients there. Vapasa is the building up of soil humus to increase soil aeration. Now these 4 issues, in some way these are already applied, but he only talks about these 4 ways in this zero-based natural farming, and he says that these all are sufficient to all kinds of crops, all kinds of soils, because the nutrients are available. Regarding the micronutrients also, he has a great theory. I will tell you about that. Additionally, he says that 3 methods of insect and pest management: Agniastra, Brahmastra and Neemastra, and these are made from cow urine, cow dung, tobacco, fruits, green chili and garlic and neem. So this is how insects and pests of all kinds, they can be managed. But is there any proof? No. Unsubstantiated claims. Why the writers are talking about this issue? They say that he popularized this issue that without any money, all farmers can manage and can get the highest yield with these 4 wheels there. But how this is a zero budget, nobody can explain, because ingredients are not very cheap, and ingredients are never free. They will need a lot of hired labor and family labor also, and that is the biggest concern in agriculture these days, because the labor is becoming more and more expensive. and the rent over the own lands, because all people, they do not own the land, and he never talks about that. So the land will be needed where this agriculture will be done. Cost of maintaining cows and paid up costs, because he talks about cow urine and cow dung. From where the cow dung will come? We have to feed these cows. First of all, we need to have all these cows, then we need to feed these cows, then they will give the dung, and then it will be applicable. So it is not a cheap method. Next, electricity pump sets, they will consume a lot of resources, and the money will be needed. So this is also not a zero budget. But this issue was popularized heavily by the government and proposed in all the issues of Yojana and Kurukshetra and in the PIB data. This is all popularized a method. But why? This is the criticism here. Second, he says that the writer said that there are no independent studies available to validate the claims that there is a high yield with the zero-based natural farming, and the way he claims that all are conspiracies and mine method is the best one. There is no validation of that. There are no field trials. Only some practitioners are talking about that. Only one field trial is going on in the GB Pant University of Agriculture, but full results will be available only after 5 years. So this is again the hopes, this is like any other scheme which the government proposes. And when they talk about the hopes that if we take an example of $5 trillion economy, then they say that the smoothing is happening, and we have supported all the industries and all, and the private investment will come hopefully, and then it will lead to this kind of a positive phase, then it will lead to that phase, then it will lead to that phase, and this is how we will achieve the goal. So first thing started with the hope and with the kind of positivity about the strategy, and then they lead to the result, and they popularize the result heavily. So this is the way something is like that. There is no solid proof there, and some results of the field trials, they will come after 5 years. So we have to wait till that time. And additionally, talking about the science as conspiracy and talking other issues as foolish methods and the demonic methods, it is not right, because you have to show your way. You have confidence, then you have to go through these trials and all these scientific methods, then only your way can be popularized. Before that, if you popularize some issue, then it may fool a lot of farmers there, because they will try to wait there, and a lot of time will be passed, and there will be no production after all, because there are some evidences available. They tell that we need a lot of resources, a lot of methods, and these basic things, idealistic things, and talking on some mythological backgrounds, this will not help. Saying that cow dung, cow urine, they have all the solutions, and these are the magical things, and they are costly than diamonds. Cow dung is costly than diamonds. This is said by a particular minister there. So these things will not help. Only truth will help, because science is not a Western subject. It is the way of seeking the truth based on some experiments and the proofs there. And they are demonizing the science as some Western subject, and they are popularizing their own ways which are not proved as the best solutions. But where is the proof? That's the problem. And third, his claim. Writer said that his claims stand agriculture on its head. He says that Indian soils are poor in organic matter content. Why? Because they are not activated. But the science says that 59% of soils are low in available nitrogen, 49% are low in available phosphorus, and 48% are low or medium in available potassium, and deficient in micronutrients. Zinc, iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum and boron deficiencies are there. And some regions soils are saline, some are acidic. Heavy rains make them acidic, and aluminum, manganese and iron toxicities are also there. Heavy metal pollutions from industries and municipal waste, that has made these soils as barren. So these are the common problems there. If we will not have any solution regarding these issues, then these cow dungs and cow urines will not help. They will never help. But he talks in this way, and agriculture scientists, they do identify the improper and imbalanced application of fertilizers. Nobody is saying that the use of fertilizers and the pesticides is good. This is not good, but this is the only option available here for the food security issue. and the other way we are trying, that is biotechnology way, so that we can make some changes. We can make these crops as pest free genetically. That is also we are trying, but there are a lot of campaigns regarding that also, against that also. So that way, biotechnology way, is also called a disastrous way by Mr. Palekar. So we have to see his claims are right or the science is right, but this popularized way is really problematic. The way a minister was saying in the parliament, standing in the parliament, he was saying that nobody saw a man turning ape turning into a human. So humans were like that only. Thousands of years back there was no difference, and monkeys were different. Humans were always like this. So these kind of ministers are sitting there in the parliament and they are talking confidently about these issues. One high court judge in Rajasthan was saying that the progeny of a peacock comes from the tear of the male peacock there. So these kind of things are really funny. They have made India a joke in some senses, in some platforms like the Indian Science Congress, and a lot of scholars were there and they were laughing on these claims. Because why? These things may be true, but where is the scientific logic behind them? Where is the proof of those things? And we are not the best country at all. We are not the strongest country in this world. We are not the most advanced country in this world, that other countries will have to think over these issues, over these claims, and it is not the condition. We are in some parameters one of the worst country. If you talk about the inequality, if you talk about the poverty, if you talk about the child health, anemia conditions, and the stunting condition, malnutrition condition, we are one of the worst countries, and the highest level of corruptions are there in some areas. So how we can claim about these things and not talking about those things and popularizing these ways, like the touching the skin of a cow cures blood pressure, and cow dung, cow urine, they cure cancer. These kind of funniest things we are having, and they are heavily popularized even by the governments. So that's why this is really a joke of our ways, our potentials, and our sciences. And we see a lack of support for the scientists, for the researchers, and we see all the financial advertisement, financial supports, backings for these kind of things which are not proved at all. So that's why this way, the manner is really problematic. And Mr. Palekar even says that soil testing is a conspiracy. How we can accept that? And if we go by his logic, then these intelligent minds who were there in the ancient India, even those are foolish people. Even those are involved in some kind of conspiracy, because whatever they told with the logic of science only, because science is not a subject, it is just a truth seeking. Mr. Palekar has a totally irrational position on the nutrient requirements of the plants. You will not believe what he said. He said that 98.5% exact percentage he is giving, this was percentage of the nutrients the plants need is obtained from air, water, and sunlight. Means the air means oxygen, carbon dioxide, and some gases, and the water S2O, and the photons, they will give nutrients to the plants, and only 1.5% is taken from the soil. So that's why it's a Divya Gyan. And all nutrients are present in the adequate quantities in all types of soil of India. According to him, the acidity, the pH values, and the saline soils, the poisoning, these mean nothing to Mr. Palekar, and he says that all types of soils are capable. Just we need to activate these microbes with the help of cow dung and cow urine, and Jivamrit prescription is the panacea for that. And if we go by his method only, then we know scientifically that cow dung and all these cow urine, they have 0.5% nitrogen content, and according to him, in 1 month 10 kg of cow urine and 10 liters of urine and 10 kg of dung is needed for per acre. Now according to him, per acre will get only 750 grams of nitrogen, and that is not sufficient, and that's why we apply urea there, and the application of urea has yielded a lot. That is a scientific fact. So today we need to give proofs for scientific knowledges, and they do not need any kind of scientific proofs. This is the condition of this country, and this is called the destruction of a knowledge system, destruction of a awareness of a population. And you can destroy a country with false knowledges, false claims, and you need to prove those things. If you say that these are confident ways and proved ways, then you need to give proofs for that. Before that, if you apply these knowledges and you misguide people with these kind of knowledges that cow urine cures cancer, cow dung cures everything, and cow dung is costlier than diamonds, so these kind of things are not acceptable at all, and these will be only acceptable by the naive populations, and they are dependent on your knowledge that you give them. But you give unproved knowledges, then this is dangerous. Here he says that one more great issue he talks about. He says that whatever agriculture and the farming which will happen on these four wheels, Jivamrita and all these Brahmastra and all these things, and that production and these crops which will be eaten by the people, who will be the practitioners? They will stop drinking alcohol, they will not be involved in some gambling, lying, they will not tell a lie ever. Who will eat these kind of crops? And only these non-vegetarian food eaters, they are the liars, they are the gamblers, they are the drinkers. So heights of Divya Gyan here. And he says that only Indian Vedic philosophy is the absolute truth, all others are conspiracies, lies and foolishness. And his reeks of cultural chauvinism that uncritically celebrate indigenous knowledges and reactionary features of the past, that's really a bizarre thing. And that's why I was also shocked when I went through this article. I thought that Mr. Palekar is a great agriculturist, and he's talking about some substantial sciences, but he is no different from these popularized claims. And for the last 4-5 years we are listening these things a lot, and this is just addition to that streak. So they have to give proofs about those things, and then they popularize these things. And instead of wasting money on these unproved claims, they should support some researchers there, and the models of agriculture they need to apply there. A lot of recommendations are there, they need to spend money on those things and apply those things. Otherwise this all will be a joke, and we will be continuing with all these unwise and imprudent issues, and this way where he says that organic, inorganic, soil testing, all are conspiracies. This will never help us. That's the issue. So important for GS paper 2 and 3 again, and you should write a mains question on that thing, that how zero-based farming is positively good, and what are the challenges and what are the needs there to apply these technologies. Can we apply them on the basis of this traditional knowledge? Should we believe that much, and should we need some additional researchers there? So that's the question of 250 words you must write here. Now this zero-based natural farming is heavily popularized, and it has become a very interesting phenomena, so we need to see that. So one more article is left, but we will talk about that issue tomorrow. And thanks a lot, keep watching. It was Amit.